What's up, everybody? I'm David Hain. Welcome to episode 178 of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, please share it with a couple of friends. Get them to listen to it and then chat with them about it. You can also like, subscribe, and follow us on whatever platform you're listening to. If you'd like to get our curriculum, you can get the paperback or ebook of From Ashes to Destiny on Amazon. When we come back, we'll get into this episode entitled Passion, Purpose, and Compassion. Welcome back to episode 178 of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast entitled Passion, Purpose, and Compassion. I would like to start today's episode with a quote from the 13th century poet and scholar Rumi. He wrote, "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray." Let me repeat that so it sinks in. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Many philosophers who have studied Rumi's writings say that the greatest version of ourselves walks in all three of these: passion, purpose, and compassion. That's why I keep going back to South Africa. That's why I'm totally comfortable and feeling whole living in a men's homeless shelter in Krugersdorp, Gauteng, South Africa. That's why I'm uncomfortable in many business or churchy settings when people are honestly just looking for a quick fix. Just like parents of addicts who just want their son or daughter to come right without experiencing any compassion for what got them addicted in the first place. So, let's look at these three things: passion, compassion, and purpose. First, let's look at passion. The Oxford Languages Dictionary defines it as a strong and barely controllable emotion. So what does this emotion mean? What does the passion mean in our feelings? Wikipedia goes on to explain passion as something that can range from an eager interest in, an admiration for, an idea, purpose, proposal, or cause, to be enthusiastic in our enjoyment of an interest or activity, to have a strong attraction, excitement, or emotion towards a person. You starting to get the picture? So a first step, if we're working with addicts, is to really understand ourselves and our loved ones by examining what are the things or the people that we've always been passionate about and what they've always been passionate about. Then we have to identify how we've expressed that passion and how have we been suppressed in living out our passions. And when we start at that point, we can really focus on what's important, and that is the passion that's in us, what's stirring in us to get involved in working with the people in addiction, and what's stirring in them. What have they been passionate about, and what has been suppressing the expression of those passions? And ideally, we will begin to see areas where our passion has led to giving us meaning or purpose in our work, our family, our relationships, and our focus on the path we want to follow in the present and in our future plans and goals. When we walk in our purpose in life, it becomes the reason why we do what we do, why we make the choices we make. Purpose gives us a sense of resolve or determination. And being purpose-driven has been a catchphrase in the church for decades now, and in business. find your purpose and be driven by your purpose. What I'm saying here is, let's find our purpose, have it linked with our passion. And when our passion and purpose are linked together in us, a true sense of compassion develops. When we begin to feel that people who are the victims of things like abuse, neglect, misunderstandings, intolerance, and other things like that, we realize they deserve our compassion, not just our purpose. We develop a deep concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. The people that are often overlooked or ignored by society and government become the focus of our passion and purpose. Are you with me here? I'm not saying that someone shows up in our Sunday school class who's homeless or an addict and we say, there's my purpose. And then we begin to define something around that. I'm saying that previously we have this deep concern for the sufferings and misfortune of others. And then we recognize when things show up that stir the compassion in us because it's already touching areas of passion and purpose in us. We feel motivated to somehow relieve people's sufferings. Empathy stirs in us as we become aware of the emotions of the overlooked people. We truly desire to understand how they feel. You understand where that's our focus, is to meet people and understand them. Not to pity them and try to fix them. And you see, the core for me of these three things, passion, purpose, and compassion, the place that they intersect, the thing that holds them all together and brings life, is love. Love in the present, with no strings attached, no expectations of fixing anyone. Simply understanding their feelings and meeting them where they are, without judgment, without this motivation that, wow, they'll be my new purpose, my new ministry. You see, I spent years as a misunderstood missionary expecting God to move in the hearts of those who I was helping to get set free from addiction. But too often I failed them because I focused on what everyone else wanted me to do, what was expected of me. I provided answers and a way forward to a life focused on and driven by a godly purpose. This left many people clean and sober, but not healed. So they were counting the days clean and sober, living one day at a time. But honestly, even though they had 6 months or 6 years clean and sober, they were only 5 minutes away from relapse. One situation, one choice, one circumstance, one disappointment, one frustration, one failure, one heartbreak could lead them right back to relapse and the loss of the purpose that I had worked in trying to instill in them. And this realization led to my writing of the curriculum From Ashes to Destiny, which focuses on awareness of and a total inner healing for the wounds which led people to self-medicate. It shifted our A2D focus from how long have you been clean to how far away are you from your next relapse. It required me to learn how to show love unconditionally and 100% in the present moment, every time. Is this ringing a bell with you? Does this sound like something that you think you could walk in? Are you ready to join me in this? If you are in the U.S. or South Africa, the pieces are already in place to do that. If you're anywhere else in the world, then let's do whatever it takes. We're currently getting the translation of From Ashes to Destiny curriculum translated into Polish. We're looking to expand the translations that we already have in Kenya, and it's being used in the prisons there. So if there's a need in any language anywhere in the world for this curriculum, just contact me. Together we can find a sponsor either here or where you're at and cover the translation costs. Maybe you just need a jump start to get things going in your city, in your country. Well, let's make it happen in 2024. Are you ready to walk in passion, purpose, and compassion for people caught in the snare of addiction? If so, let's follow Rumi's advice of 1,000 years ago. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Thanks for listening to this episode of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast. If you want to walk in what you truly love, message me on the link in this podcast or by email at davidfroma2d@gmail.com, or go to my website, www.from2d.org, and click on the contact page. If you're listening on Spotify, you can leave your comments by clicking on the link they provide in that platform. Tune in Monday for our next episode, and as always, stay safe and stay strong.